Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrooke Family Farm. I'm currently sitting in the goats pasture area that the chickens have so lovingly taken over as theirs as well. So have the ducks. Uh, it's a good thing that our goats like the chickens. Lucky is kind of like a little chicken whisperer. Even when we lived in the camper still, the pasture for the goats was right next to the chicken pasture, and he would like make noises at the chickens and stuff. It was almost like he was calling them towards him. And then some of the chickens decided that they wanted to start laying eggs in the goat area. So I used to joke that our goats, because at that point Fawny wasn't in milk yet, she hadn't had any babies, but I used to joke that our goats were confused and they were laying eggs. So it's kind of fun. Lucky just came over to say hi. So that's Lucky. Anyways, so I just got done unloading the car, and then I came to give all of the animals some more water before I went back to get some more stuff and get some more things done. But I was chuckling as I was unloading everything, because it made me, I like had this epiphany as I was almost done unloading the car. I was like, oh my god, I literally just potentially carried thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds of produce in my little tiny Chevy Sonic. Geez, Lucky, now is not the time for kisses. But I was laughing as I was carrying it, because like I have a couple peach trees, probably like a dozen different blueberry bushes, all sorts of different stuff that we had when we still lived in town. We had pretty much our entire quarter-acre lot filled with perennial plants. So the only things that we didn't move out of there when we moved was actually our fruit trees, because they had been planted for a couple years, and they're probably actually this year they're probably going to produce fruit for the kind of people that bought our house. Oh, and there's Fawny and Bonita trying to get their share of attention. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, I suppose, or maybe it's just that Fawny wants to eat my necklace. I don't know. Anyways, so we had tons and tons and tons of plants planted and growing at our old place in town, and we didn't want to basically let them go to waste, because there was most of the berry bushes and stuff were only a year or two old. When the government was giving everybody stimulus money, we bought plants. We paid off our car and bought plants. We have a healthy love and obsession with plants, especially plants that will produce food for us in the future. We make a lot of our own jams and jellies. We also like to make wine. Ouch, I just got horned in the back. I'm gonna stand up so that I don't get hurt. So yeah, having our own supply of fruit is a very, very beneficial thing. Plus, then we can ensure that it's actually grown organically and without pesticides, and that it's actually ethically done. A lot of the fruits that are grown commercially, there is no ethicalness at all to it. The plants are forcibly stressed out so that way the plants think that they are dying, so then they will produce a bunch more fruit, because they're thinking, oh my god, I'm going to die, so I'm going to produce more seed, so that way my lineage can continue on. It's kind of how commercial chickens are too. They're not happy at all. They're just, the way that things are done commercially is not anything that sits well with my soul, or with my stomach. You know, as a child, I used to tell my grandma, like, I can tell that you made this with love. I can taste the love in it. And I used to tell my mom that stuff too. So and as an adult, that's kind of continued on, that you can kind of, some people can kind of just like sense it, if something was made with love or grown with love, or if it was, you know, super stressed out, because you don't feel right when you're eating it. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm a weirdo, so who knows. But yeah, so a lot of the commercially done fruits and vegetables and stuff, it's not only just that they don't taste as good as the homemade, they don't feel as good. You know, I don't know. I'm a sensitive person, so that could be part of it. I'm not really sure, but it could also be just that I love the pride that comes in with also growing it yourself and going and picking it, and I love snacks, and when you grow berries, it's kind of like you get rewarded just for going on a walk in your yard, because you can just be like, oh, I'm a little hungry, oop, here's a snack, here's a snack, here's a snack, one for me, one for the bucket. But a lot of times with me, it's like 3 for me and 1 for the bucket, so we have to plant a lot of fruit stuff. Yeah, so it's very exciting to have enough land now that we can just keep planting and planting and planting. Like, it is just it's ecstatic. When we lived in town, we were basically trying to do the perimeter line of our property. We were trying to line it with berry bushes and fruit trees. Our yard was over halfway shaded with some really big maple trees, which I tapped, so they weren't useless. And rabbits love to chew on maple sticks. But yeah, so we wanted a little bit more privacy because our front yard was on a somewhat busy road, and in the backyard there was an alley that broke it up, so there was constantly traffic coming by. So we were always trying to make it more private and basically more like where we're at now. You know, the heart wants what the heart wants no matter what. Even when your eyes say, oh no, that reality is not possible, and the heart goes, yeah it is. You just might have to do something crazy to get there. But you know, if you follow your heart all the time, you'll get to the crazy stuff. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry about that. That's what happens, especially when the animals are making all sorts of noise. I don't know if you can hear the noise of that chicken or not, but she's making me some breakfast for tomorrow. I already ate. Thank you, chickens. But yeah, I think I can pop a squat now so you guys can see our ducks. Oh, and Bonita needs her 5 minutes of fame still. I pulled a tick off of her yesterday and one off of myself too, so that was kind of a bummer. Tracy always jokes that I'm a tick magnet because it seems like if there's ticks anywhere that I'll end up finding them on me. When I was pulling my taps out of the maple trees this year, I ended up with 13 ticks on me, and I was not in the woods for very long at all. So ticks this year are probably going to be horrendous since it didn't get very cold this winter. But anyways, I'm gonna get scooting because I really want to get some work done, and I do have some more plants to bring here. Some of our stuff we haven't had a chance to fully pot it up yet, so that way it's ready for shipment. And still doing the great canning jar move of 2023. It's kind of nice that our garden last year was a failure, so that way we didn't have a whole bunch of produce canned up. So there's less to move this year than there was last year, as last year when we were moving, 2021 was a very, very, very successful year for the garden, and so there was quite a lot. So this year there's not quite as much stuff to move, but it's still a hell of a lot of heavy lifting, grunt work, a lot of steps going up and down. So my legs are pretty tired today. Anyways, so I'm gonna get off here so that way I can get some of my stuff done. I just figured I'd pop in with you guys and share about the kind of exciting feat of transporting thousands of pounds in a car that is not rated to. All right, anyways, if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share our videos, and subscribe so that way you can help us grow. All right, thanks guys, have a good one.